Continue along the path and around the side of a hill. A wooden hut is set into the slope, with an old woman sitting on the front step. A river seems to emerge from beneath her. As you get closer, you realize the water flows underneath her house, and the house itself is set on splayed struts like an insect, straddling the watercourse. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of a sheer cliff and disappears. Greet the woman. Greetings, you call. The woman looks up at you and smiles. Come over here, won't you? She calls. I can barely see you. Approach the woman. You approach the old woman. She smiles a toothless smile and gets up from the step. Come in, please. She beckons. I get so lonely living out here on my own, away from the villagers. Go inside. Thank you. You follow her inside and take a seat by a long wooden table. I'll bring us some tea, she says. She sounds almost nervous. Hurrying to her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Drink tea or make conversation. Make conversation. The tea is still hot. You cup it between your hands as you speak. Oh, there we go. What's your name? Why do you live alone? This is a beautiful place. This is a beautiful place. This is a beautiful place, you remark, watching the river outside the door plunging away over the cliff face. This is the top of the crystal waterfall, she says. The river runs right under my house. They say it carries all my goodness and youth away while I sleep, and the villagers bathe in it for luck. She giggles meanly. I'm sure it isn't quite true. What's your name? They call me Gazamuna, she replies with a smile. I used to be quite well known in my way. You nod, but you have never heard of her. Why do you live alone? It must be more dangerous. Oh, she smiles sweetly. No one bothers about me. Why would they? You can't help but notice that she has not answered the question. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching her arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, she says suddenly, I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. Drink my tea. You lift your mug, blow away the steam, and take a sip as the old lady returns. The old lady lifts her own mug and takes a deep gulp. Your own tea is gently refreshing. Then she splutters and coughs and grips her side. Help her. Something wrong? Oh no, she replies, trying to smile, but clearly doubled up in pain. Stumbling and almost falling, she staggers to her kitchen and gulps down another drink. When she returns, she seems much better again. I'm not as young as I was, she explains. All the same, she pushes her tea to one side. But tell me about you. You're a traveler. Yes. Yes, that's right. I'm going to Corray. She clasps her hands. How wonderful! Such a delightful city. Indeed, you answer. Tell me, on your journey you didn't happen across an old man, did you? Yes. How does any old man? This one was carrying a page from a spell book. Show her the page. You pulled the spell page from your pack, and her eyes light up, giggling with glee, the witch snatches it up. What is the spell? It's a spell of pest repulsion. You've no idea how useful it is around here. She shakes her head. 4 days ago I was visited by a traveler such as yourself, but when I was away making my tea, as I always do, he started leafing through my book and tore out a page. He must have been a wizard of power, because he vanished almost too fast for me to curse him. Will you uncurse him now? Well, she looks so uncomfortable. I rather think it might be too late. I aged into almost 130 years, you see. I wanted to slow him down, but instead I sped him up. And she giggles. She fusses with the page, repairing his fog with some gentle magic. You take the opportunity to leave. I lost my page! I gained nothing! I am going to rewind, but I'm gonna go back to what I just did. Oh, I gained a stamina, I guess. I'm gonna do what I just did, but I want to see what happens if you switch the cups. I've already switched the cups in the past. Switch cups with it. Alright, well. I guess it's just an interaction where you pretty much gain nothing and you're best off just trying to escape. Why don't you just like stay outside? Make a run for it? Damn, you can zap her ass. Alright, it looks like you can just kind of try to run away, but we're just gonna do what we did before. Go inside, make conversation. What's your name? Why do you live alone? This is a beautiful place. Drink my tea. Help her. Yes. Yes. Show her the page. Continue. Okay. It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is the village of Torapani, slung from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Observe it. Torapani is a village of the Sven, an aggressive-looking race of man-orcs. You might expect their village to be rowdy, but it seems strangely quiet. Oh, let's see. Go into town. Still, there's no way around it. You will have to go through. You enter the village. There is a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svins are going about their business, slowly and miserably, and pay you no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump in the very center of the village to consider your options. Find an inn to rest. Make contact with the villagers first. You spy a group of Svins sitting outside a low hut and walk over and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend, apparently. Kill them and I by an assassin's curved blade. Is that why you were all afraid? You ask? We are afraid of no thing, retorts one of the Svins, fiercely, but no, much worse. Another Svin bangs his hand on the table. But with Esh dead, who saved Tia? Who is Tia? Our flower, the Svin who answers, wipes away a tear from the corner of his eye, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail. Tia is Chief's daughter, the other Svin says. Esh was to save her. Now Esh not alive, so Tia soon not alive. What happened to her? Goblins, they sacrifice? Sacrifice? He isn't sure of the word, so mimes a gesture like a stabbing down with knife blade. Yes, sacrifice to great cave demon. Trouble is, another says, our village die if chief line end. Tia is end, so if end ends, we end. All very sad. Very sad, they all agree. Who you? One asks suddenly. If only just thinking of it. He prods you in the chest. Traveler is likely, which is the biggest one side. Great traveler? I did my best. Best is good. Meke Tifa, he signaled to those who are hooking to the chief, big hefty arms swinging for you. We take the chief. Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling you bodily onto their shoulders. Wait to see what happens. You hold your tongue and wait to see where they are taking you. You pass through the village. Several Svins watch from doorways and windows, their faces silent and somber. A few murmur blessings, or maybe curses, as you pass. Then you reach a low hut on the edge of the village. You are sit down, carefully. Indeed, Jeff. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens. Your possessions are thrown inside. Maybe I should eat. I didn't actually mean to click there. I don't want. I didn't realize right clicks count as inputs. So I don't consider it a rewind. I mean, I doubt they're gonna like kill me, right? I could also just like sleep. I think I'll sleep. Rations are precious. Yeah, I'll sleep. A few more minutes pass with no more movement. Figuring they will probably now wait until daylight. You put your head down to sleep. The aching in your empty belly gnaws at you with glee. Your dreams are filled with grasping hands and long dark nails scratching at your flesh. And however much you toss and turn on the floor, you cannot quite get them out of your mind. Daybreak. You are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside. And then the door to the hut opens and 5 spins come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut where an old man with gray hair sits. He is wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name, Proteus, Chief. He slaps his chest twice. I apologize. Then he bows, brushing the dust on the floor with his sleeves. Apology accepted. The Chief nods. He waves to a menial who brings in bread and milk. Eat it. Gratefully, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poisoned, and it nourishes you. Sick. Not eating rewarded. The bowl is removed after the chief squats down in a pool of cloth. I have need of you and your strength. I will help if I can. The chief bows. I am grateful. My daughter and my child she is taken, offered to a terrible demon below. You want me to rescue her? The chief nods. Succeed, you may choose your reward. Fail, and he shrugs. I'll do it. Chief nods. I hope you will. He gestures to the other spins, who, still taking no chances, grab you by your arms and haul you to your feet. A crack in the ground. You are led along a short pathway through the forest to a crack in the ground. One spin has brought a rope and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down into the pit of the earth itself. You will pay me richly for this. Sven nods. The chief replies, "We are poor, but we will try." Good. Watch the darkness, he declares as they start to lower you down. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make out nothing but a slight breeze suggests endless space in all directions. You are blind, helpless, trapped. Something collides to your feet from above. One of the fins shouts something down to you. Feel around on the ground. You crouch down and feel around your feet until your hand closes on the base of something. You pick it up. It is a dry wood torch. Something else falls from above and strikes you on the head. Tinderbox, calls the voice. Feel around for the tinderbox. Rubbing the bruise in your hand, you reach out to find the tinderbox. Light the torch. You strike a light and the torch blazes into flame. Below. You can see now you are in a large cavern, wide and deep. At the far end, passageways disappeared at the left and right. Through an uneven rockfall at the far end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. Listen by the rocks. You clamber over the rocks at the edge of the cavern to investigate the sound. It is a whimpering coming from the other side of the pile of stones. The Sven girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but then the cave-in blocked off her path. You will have to find another way to reach her. Alright, chat. Left or right? Left it is. You go left. Oh my. You go left and creep slowly into the darkness. Ears strain for the sound of approaching threat. The passageway slopes down a short way, then ends in a T-junction. Two stones are stacked on top of one another against the wall here. There's nothing special about the two stones except that they happen to be on top of one another. Turn back, go left, go right. You take the left passage. The tunnel twists and bends sharply as if carved by a river now long since dried up. You lose all sense of which way is which, except to keep going forward where the tunnel splits. There is a stacked pair of stones here as well. Ow. Right. You turn right. The cave floor is an inch deep in water, dripping from an arched ceiling far above. The droplets that land on you are ice cold and run like sharpened claws on your back. A few strides further on, the path that you are following reaches another fork. A single stone sits by the wall.
Turn back. Go left. You slip through the opening in the left wall. This ground seems too deep. But the ground seems to dip, and its lowest point, a passageway appears on the right. 2 more stones are stacked against the wall. You push on. You hear the cave system widens. Pendulous stalactites hang from the ceiling as if about to fall and skewer you into place. You skirt between them, following a thin, safe path until the crack splits the wall on the left. Go left. After a few minutes walk up a shallow incline, you begin to hear something in the distance. A low rumbling. You wait to see what happens. The rumbling gets loud, and then your hair stands on end as you see a large, rounded boulder rolling swiftly down the passage towards you. The rock is almost a perfect fit for the tunnel, and its speed is increasing as you dither. That wouldn't work. Well, fine. Let's try this. You cast a spell, but nothing happens. This is a spell to prevent injury when you falling by slowing you down, and you are not falling. In fact, you were trying to run away, and now thanks to your ill-chosen spell, you can barely move. What's my fate? You've been crushed with that. Alright, I'm gonna direct this, because I think I know what to do. Stay on the stones. What the fuck? Pray to my spirit. You raise a fast and fervent prayer to the ape, your spirit, and feel the peace of the wilderness enter you as the boulder slows and catches an invisible breaks it makes it slow. And not enough to stop it coming, but enough to give you a chance. With the final burst of speed, you race down the hallway and jump left, narrowly avoiding the boulder as it crashes loudly and violently into the wall, mere inches from where you were standing. You pick yourself up and dust yourself down. The passage rises up a gentle incline. At the top, a thick crystal seam glitters in the torchlight, and a passageway appears on your right. Look at the crystal, obviously. The seam seems to have be made of pure diamond. It was no doubt in the quest of this that these tunnels were carved. But why is no one mining here now? Dig out the crystal. You try to buy some diamond loots from the incredible seam of the rock, but your sword is not up to the task, and you would only make it blunt. You could perhaps return with a proper pick, but only if you can escape these tunnels first. Okay. Go right. Then you take the right-hand tunnel, then you see a spot of sunlight up ahead and rush forward to find yourself back beneath the crack in the ceiling from which you came. Turn back. Go right. You move through the opening in the right wall. You walk down the passage for several minutes, then slip on some dirt, and the ground beneath your feet gives way. You plunge into a hidden pit and land on something soft. Look around. Not yet counting your luck, you look around, and sure enough, you are out of the frying pan and into the reptile pit. You are in a pit of snakes. I'm going back. I don't want to use my spirit. If we run into the boulder again, I'll just cast a spell. Law is 3? No, come on. Top requires a pebble, which we have a couple of those. Zen. I don't have what's necessary for it. How many pebbles do we have? We have 3 pebbles, huh? I think this is probably worth a pebble. No, I think the law is probably what we want here, right? I think law is what we want. You cast a spell and kill the snakes from under your command. Order them to help. You command the snakes to approach. They slither nearer and nearer, and then they begin to climb the walls, holding themselves erect until they form a living ladder that stretches up the passage above. I'm with them. Back on firm ground, you watch as the spell leaves the leaves the snakes, and they stumble, snapping, hissing, and hungry back to the cavern floor. You are soon back by the crystal scene. Where a side passage opens on the left. Go left. There, then you see a spot of sunlight up ahead. Rush for it. Okay, cool. Turn back. All right. Oh. Turn back. Left. Alright, we're gonna wall. You guys your spell just in time, and the great boulder hits your invisible wall with considerable force, causing the whole cave to shake and shudder. And the boulder holds in place like a pawing horse. But your spell will not last, so you better move on. Go left. Turn back. Go straight on. I have gotten so thoroughly lost. Alright. Go straight on. Don't tell me I'm going in circles. Alright, turn back. We're in the opening. Go straight on. Another pair of stones. Go left. Go left. Go left. You take the left passage. The going is suddenly more difficult. You realize that the tunnel is climbing at quite a sharp gradient. Little stones rattle and roll away, downwards into the dark. At the highest point, the passage you are following splits left and right as you enter. Two stones roll away down the slope. You slip down the crack in the left wall. The cave walls crush in close, as though the rock is squeezing you to death. Your shoulders rub against the walls when you feel certain you can go no further. The path you are creeping through finishes at yet another fork. A pair of stones sit on top of each other by one wall. Go left. Follow the passageway when you hear an echo of whimpering coming up the corridor. Your torchlight falls across a frail shape. Hiding in the shadows is the young spin girl stacking stones into hundreds of little towers. Look for traps. You run the torchlight around the walls of the cavern. No switches or triggers that you can see. Your watches you with silent fear, and then the torchlight falls on a deep scratch on the rock. A claw mark. Suddenly there is a loud roaring from the mouth of this short cave. The walls begin to shake and crumble. The stone towers topple and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rubble begins to open, letting through a mean shaft of light. But before you can read it, the roaring sound is joined by a scream from the spin girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom back along the tunnel. Is there something moving? Something coming closer? Perhaps the roaring is the wind rushing through the tunnels. Something is coming. You hear the scrabbling sound of claws on rock, and the exit from the tunnel is blocked by a dark and looming shape. A manticore. Huge, terrible. Stands between you and the light and howls in bloody rage. Look at the creature. The manticore is a foul hybrid created by evil sorcerers of old and steeped in a bitter self-hatred. It has a lion's body and the tail of a scorpion, but its face is that of an old man, and its thoughts are cruel and resentful. As it sees you, it rears back, flapping two enormous wings on its back. Use magic, of course. You know I do love me a Dawes. Let's try a nose. You cast the spell quickly. The creature makes half a turn, preparing to swing its stinging tail at you. But then it pauses and shakes its head, and the old man's face beneath its mane crumples into a frown. It is as though something had struck it square in the forehead. You have slowed it down. If you draw your sword now, you have an advantage, or you've gained yourself more time for further sorcery. Let's take a look at the spells and then... No, I think we'll just fight him. Draw my sword. Draw your sword and close on the slow and fumbling beast. Eyes What the fuck? Ooh!
Manticore moves forward slowly. You breathe a sigh of relief to see your spell having some effect on the creature. He just did a full attack. What do you mean? You breathe a sigh of relief to see you size up quickly and slash out sideways and low with your sword. Last moment, it pounces all claws off the ground, bare to plunge in the flesh. The air is no longer slow. You brace yourself as it comes down and leap aside at the last moment. Claws raking your skin. You try to struggle with the pain. Right, you can't do much. Oh my god. The Manticore moves quickly and strikes so fast with its scorpion sting that you barely see it move, and have only a single breath to react. You defend yourself as best you can. You keep the creature ready in your sights. The Manticore shifts away and opens its enormous jaws, which look so human but contain an impossible number of teeth, each one dripping with a mixture of saliva and blood. You test the creature. Sidestepping, you slash out at the Manticore, easily catching it a light blow. It curses you in an almost human tongue. The beast growls at you. The walls shiver with its fury. The Spin Girl edges nearer as if thinking of scratching the creature with her claws. It's scared. She whispers to you, "You might not believe me, but you scared it." Fainting left, you slice at the Manticore, deftly slipping a light strike past its outstretched claws. It is injured and angry. Okay. You can almost smell the creature growing enraged and drop quickly away. The Manticore makes a nasty swipe with its fearsome claws, but you duck and escape real injury. For a moment, it is close enough to smell its warm, fetid breath. Manticore chomps and grinds its teeth, its expression an ugly frown. In the darkness of the cave, it is hard to read the monster's intentions, but you cannot wait forever. Standing firm, you swing a mighty stroke against the monster, easily catching the Manticore a passing cut. You sense the creature getting angry, move quickly into a crouch. The Manticore whips out with its terrible sting, but you leap aside to safety. You are grasping for the breath. The creature's relentless assault, its sheer rage, is almost too much for you to take. The monster rears up onto its back legs and opens its wings to fill the room. The creature snarls and snaps its jaws. You must finish this monster before it finishes you. Dropping your weight, you chop a heavy swing at the vile beast, deftly landing a quick jab past the Manticore's tail. The sting of its tail begins to leak a foul-smelling green ooze. Oh man. Alright, we're full sending. I think we're just dead anyway. The creature whips out with its vicious tail. Your own attack is forgotten as you try to regain your balance. You stagger back, the back of the gigantic sting knocking you flying across the cave room. The Spin Girl is shaking with fear. You know she has seen heroes defeated before. The creature stretches its wide jaws and roars. You spy an opening. In a battle to the death, openings cannot be wasted. Back against the rock, you deliver a ferocious stab at the foul creature, easily catching the Manticore a light blow. The creature crashes against one wall. Rock dust pours onto its back, but as it tries to shake itself, it stumbles. You can hardly dare to hope. The foul beast is weakening. Your enemy acts fast and whips its sting so sharply that you have only an instant to evade. The Spin Girl screams. Only then do you see the giant sting plunging down towards your forehead. In your weakened state, you are too slow to roll out of the way. The sting lands with the force of a hammer blow, piecing your skull. Last thing you feel is the pumping of burning poison as it enters your brain. No, I don't think we can do it. I think we need to. We might have to pray.
I gotta know what Dop does. You cast a spell on the rock wall behind the manticore, shifts and tumbles, opening a wider passage, through which you see the daylight from the crack in the ceiling above. One of the tumbling rocks hits the manticore's sting, which was swinging around in the air towards you. A lucky escape. Spell? Hot. No. Sure. You cast a spell on creating a huge fireball that you fling at the beast. It makes the damp rock wall sizzle as it flies, or striking the creature in the side, it roars out in pain. The manticore roars, making the walls of the chamber shake. But listening closely, you can hear a note of fear in its too human voice. It is still a beast of ferocious strength, but you have weakened it. You'll have to make this next and final spell matter, or take it with your sword. Or take it to task with your sword. Okay, we can zap. I don't think law is a good idea. 6? Let's try 6, I guess. You cast a spell, and as you lower your hand, Spin Girl gasps. 3 identical figures have stepped out from behind you to the left, and 2 more to the right, each making the same magical gesture. The manticore opens its spittle-flecked jaws and howls at all 6 of you. Then it pauses and sniffs the air. Of course, your clones have no scent. However, you still have 6 times the attack power, and the monster will be forced to move slowly to ensure it hits its target. You draw your sword and close on the beast. Eyes focus on the terrible sting, but at least you have caused it some injury already. Alright. Charge. Defend. Charge. Charge. Bum, 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 bum. No, we can't do this with 3 health. Pray for healing. We can't do this. We can't. This is too fucking hard. We gotta go back. I don't consider this a rewind. I like literally don't know if we can do this if I don't rewind. We'll pay me richly for this. Feel on the ground. The thing has so much stamina. Feel the ground for the tinderbox. Light the torch. Listen by the rocks. Go left. Same on the stones. Go left. Oh, I misclicked. Take me back. I got lost.
Listen by the rocks. Go left. Examine the stones. Go left. Go left. Go left. Go left. Okay, so that's how we get there. But hold up. Hold up, Wolf. We gotta find that motherfucking crystal. You know? Look at the crystal. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. We got the crystal. Alright, turn back. Go straight on. Examine the stones. Go left. Go left. Go left. Go left. Look for traps. Continue. Alright, alright, alright. Something is coming. No! No! Look at the creature, you madman! I'll use my trick. Let's doze him. Cast a spell. Can't gob. We can't mud. Yeah? No, we can't do this one either, right? We can hot. We cast hot. Cast our final spell. I think that we sap. Sap or 6? For sure. Let's sap. You cast the spell hoping to reduce the Manticore's will to nothing. But although the enchantment binds, nothing seems to happen. That's when you realize the Manticore is already a creature of hatred, self-loathing, and despair. You've done nothing but boost the anger and rage. No, 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 no. Listen. We doze. We doze. We hot. What's P? Oh, that's for Zap. We could get some pebbles on this boy. I think we just stick with 6. Alright, one more. Let me get a cookie.
Defend. Nice. Oh no. Nice. Oh no. I think it's one more defend. No. Okay, we gotta restart. We gotta restart. Goal man, goal man. This fight is hard. I remember when I first did this, it took a hot minute. All right. Man, I wish I had bought some more of that stuff at the first trader, but I didn't realize that the first trader worked the way that it did. You bitch! Nice. I think we defend here. Defend or go in? What do you guys think? Oh, no. Alright, fine. Alright, let's go. Woo! Yeah, there's no way we would have been able to do this before. We had to do all that. Standing firm, you and your clone swing a fearsome stroke against the monster. Your sword blade seems almost to be possessed. It finds its way past the Manticore's sweeping claws, through its thick hide, and down into its ancient, cruel heart. For a moment, it howls loud enough to make the walls shake, and then everything falls very quiet. 3 stamina lost. Skilled swordplay. The only noise in the chamber is the hammering of your heart and the quiet breathing of the Sphin Girl. Thank you, the Sphin Girl murmurs, then tugging at your arm. This way. She leads you towards the light, through a gap in the rocks, to the pool of sunlight in the first cavern. Escape! You wave the torch, hoping to attract attention. Tell the girl to call up. Girl, call to your father. The Sphin child nods mutely, then bawls at the top of her lungs. Proceus, I'm here! Then something drops down. A rope with a basket on the end. Get in together, the chief calls from above. We'll pull you both up. Send the girl up first. You lift the girl into the basket and call up, haul away! The Svens give a great cry and begin to pull, and the basket starts to slowly rise, spinning as it goes. The girl waves to you, and she disappears in the sunlight. Then, she is gone. A minute passes, nothing. Call up. Throw down the rope! Nothing. The tunnel echoes very slightly. A noise from the depths. Perhaps the manticore was not alone. Wait a little longer. Settling down on your pack, you can imagine the celebration going on above. The tears and grateful reunion. No surprise that they lose track of you down here in the dark. Then, sure enough, the basket and the rope tumble down. You clamber quickly in and they haul you up. Above ground, the chief himself helps you up out onto the grass. His daughter is with him, clutching his hand. My daughter tells you fight bravely. Sorry, I was biting my nail. My daughter tells you fight bravely, he says. For that I grateful. I invite you with us, back to Torapani. Will you come?
What? Who does this? Get out! Go! Get your reward, dude.
A little generosity cannot hurt you, you nod. I will come. As you enter the village, it erupts into celebration.
20s, damn it, let's go!
Did I even use my spirit? I don't remember if I did. I hope I didn't. You are given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. A visit to the healing priest treats your wounds, and when you emerge, is to find the village. Before so somber and silent, now in full life. Flowers are tied to every rooftop, and the bands of Svens are playing music on long, strangely shaped lyres. You are whisked away into the dance by Proteus' daughter before the chief can welcome you to the feast. The night is glorious. That night you sleep heavily and rise the next morning, continue your journey. The chief meets you before you go. My good friend, he declares, you have saved us. He presses 2 gifts into your hands. Pouch of 10 gold pieces! A fortune for a place like this, and a key. This opens the south city gate of Karay, he tells you. I hope it is use. You perform one last transaction before you go, exchanging your emeralds for 24 further gold pieces with the chief. It is a much safer way to carry valuables, as you stash them around your body, in your boots and under your belt. Then it is time to leave. I have 41 gold! Gold! Time to go. You take your leave. The path winds away from Torapani, and soon you are on a downward slope, away from the Shamutanti hills. Through stepped rice fields. As you walk, you feel for the first time the loneliness of the path ahead. Through Karay is a busy city. Though Karay is a busy city, it is cruel, and beyond Karay, there is nothing but the vicious wasteland. You will have no one to trust in the days ahead. God. For a brief moment up on the hills of the path, you fancy you see a figure stealing its way along by some high and secret route. A figure all in black, but when you shade your eyes against the sun, whatever was there has disappeared. In the distance rises the wall of a great city, the first true stonework you have seen since you left home. To Karay! Your journey through the Shamutanti Hills is completed. Along the way, you have gained the friendship of Flanker, the assassin, and have been given the key to the gates of Karay. You have collected some magical artifacts, a small lump of beeswax, a cloth skullcap, 3 pebbles, a blimberry potion, and a bamboo pipe. You are still armed only with your original sword, and have 2 rations, and 41 gold pieces, and a spell. The adventures continues in Sorcery 2, Karay, City Port of Traps. Out now! Benawa. Alright, you know what that means, everybody? It means that we're actually in Sorcery 2 now. This is Sorcery 2. I don't actually know what the subtitle is. I think it's correct.